Hi, Derek here. When it comes to sports scholarships, academics absolutely matter because you need to meet minimum eligibility requirements. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how much a coach loves you from a sporting perspective. If you can't meet those minimum academic hurdles, depending on which college you're looking to go to and which governing body that college is involved with, then it doesn't matter how good an athlete you are. Unfortunately, you're just not going. So planning your academics and getting started on that process as early as possible is really important. Okay, so what I want to do is just run through that high level planning process for you. We're going to take a look at a 5-year game plan and how do you make sure that you hit all the milestones that you need to hit along the way to give you the best chance of getting the best scholarship offers and opening up the most opportunities for you in the state. So let's switch screens and I'll jump into show you how to map out a quick 5-year plan. At the end of this video, what I'm going to do is show you how to grab all the resources and tools that you need to go through this process and give you free access to all of those. So yeah, make sure you just check out the resources at the end of this video. Okie doke. So creating a 5-year plan, pretty simple process. How you make sure that you achieve your goals is you need to start with the end in mind, and you need to look at the big dominoes that you need to knock over to get you to your goals and make sure you achieve what you're after. So we need to work backwards. You need to set your goals first. Then you need to create a game plan or a process that you're going to follow to get to those goals. And then thirdly, you need to look at the habits that you're doing. What are the things that you're doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that is basically those habits? When you execute properly, they just build on your game plan. You follow a process, and ultimately you'll hit your goals. Okay, so let's jump into the 5-year planning process. What I'm going to do here is basically exactly what we talked about. Start with the end in mind, look at your big goals, and then we'll work backwards from there. So let's just assume for this example you're looking to start a business degree at a US college or university in the States. Basically, you would be looking to start in January or August the year after you graduate from your senior year of high school, whatever country you're in. Okay, so the big domino there that's going to allow that, allow you to get that scholarship offer is obviously the first thing you need to is graduate high school. If you don't do that, then you're not going anywhere. Okay. What you also need to establish is you want to set yourself a GPA target. So let's, for this example, just say we're going to target a GPA of 3.5. Now, your GPA is really important in the US college system. They're looking for consistency. They're not looking just for somebody that hit a home run in their senior year, that they struggled all through high school and then they just managed to knuckle down and focus and cram for 1 year to get a result in senior. Because basically the governing bodies, the whole model over there is to set you up for 4-year success. Okay, so they want to see that you are going to be able to manage the workload consistently over a 4-year process. So your GPA matters, your average through high school. Okay, the other thing that you will need is to sit a standardized test, either an SAT or an ACT test. Now, basically, you'll need that result before you're going to get a scholarship offer, before you can meet, say, for example, the NCAA eligibility criteria if you're targeting a Division 1 or a Division 2 sports scholarship over there. Okay, so let's just, for this example, say, okay, we're going to target a minimum of 1100 as an SAT. So that's what you're aiming for in your senior year. You need to start looking at that as early as possible. Okay, so for your second last year of high school, you'll probably carry that GPA target through, and each year you're going to track your progress to see how you're going towards that target. In year 11, your second last year of high school, you definitely want to be setting an SAT test. You can set the SATs as many times as you like and just take the highest result that you get, but you want to establish a benchmark in your second last year of of high school so that you know what you need to do to get yourself up to the level or the target that you've identified as you've started to shortlist your colleges, and what is it that they look for from an SAT results perspective. Okay, so working backwards then, so your second year of high school, okay, third last year of high school, you basically want to be making sure that you're on track with your core course requirements. Okay, so you want to be looking at your core subject requirements as early as possible. Okay, talk to your school counsellor. Okay, so have a look, have a chat to them. Make sure that you're on track. As I said, we'll give you links to all the resources that will give you all the details around course requirements or subjects, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable based on your country. For example, if we use Australia as an example, each state may have subjects, additional subjects that are included, and more importantly, subjects that are not included or don't count towards your core subjects. So you need to make sure that you get that mix right so that you meet the eligibility requirements, because if you can't meet that first hurdle, say for the NCAA, and they rule you ineligible, then it doesn't matter how much the coach loves you. You're not going to the States, unfortunately, or you're going to have problems. Okay, so you want to talk to your school counsellor, have a look at the resources we're about to give you, okay, and then go from there. So that's just basically a high level. You want to start this process as early as possible. Yes, you can start in grade 12. The challenge with that is that you've got a lot of work to do in what is already a busy year. And the other thing is coaches are recruiting at least 2 years out. So if you're starting late, it's limiting your opportunities. The ideal time to be doing this is starting looking at it in grade 9, grade 10. You definitely want to be trying to have a lot of this in place in your second last year of high school, and having done some of the work and planning up to that point. Doesn't mean that you can't do it late, but it just creates potentially some problems. It doesn't give you a lot of time to pivot or adjust. So yeah, grab the resources we're about to give you, start your planning, start looking at what your minimum requirements are, the core subjects that you need to take. And starting early doesn't mean that you have to commit to going to the US. It doesn't need to be an overwhelming process for a young athlete, but it does at least get you thinking about the process, the hoops you need to jump through, and the eligibility requirements you need to meet. So depending on whether you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, there will be a link in the description box. Click on that link and we'll send you a bunch of free resources. We'll give you this 5-year planning worksheet. We'll give you tools to estimate your GPA, and we'll give you all the resources for the eligibility requirements for the different college sporting organisations like the NCAA, NAIA, and NJCAA, because that's really your first hurdle. If you can't get past those minimum eligibility requirements, you're simply not going. So yeah, click on the link in the description box and we'll shoot those details straight out to you.